Hello and a very warm welcome to the 2021 Europe Triathlon Junior Cup. It's the first thing to tell you, and we'll be bringing you 4 races live today, right through until about 6 o'clock local time. Time here is around about 20 minutes to midday, and first up we have the final of the junior women, and this is a huge day for these teenagers in this iconic event. Unable to hold it last year, of course, in common with virtually every other triathlon event, but we're back this year, and here's the course that they're going to be.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the laps of 250 meters, so 500 meters in total. Then it's onto the bike, 5 laps of 2.5 kilometers each. So that gives you 12.5 Ks total, and the run is 3 laps of 1.2 kilometers. So that's just over 3.5 kilometers in total. It's going to be a real test of these young athletes. They remember, of course, that they had the semi-finals yesterday. So that's going to be a
medical delegate representing
serious test of skills. There's the run course we're showing you. Pretty flat. The bike course is a little technical. There are some tight turns and a couple of 90-degree turns, as you can see on that picture. But we couldn't really have a better day to enjoy the action. Temperature around about, well, there you see it, 32 degrees. That is warm. If you like it in Fahrenheit, that's in the low 90s. And here is the field of men who are in action in the semi-finals. Pretty much all European, except for a couple of Canadians, Claire Normand and Ina Britton, who you see there on your caption, who won the first semi-final yesterday. The way it worked was that the first 9 in each of the semis went through. That gives you 27. And then the 3 best times after that. So that's why we have a field of 30. No number 13, of course. Some superstitions still run high in sports, and that's one of them in triathlon. All COVID protocols are being followed, as you would expect, hence the masks, which they're able to dispense with just before they make their way onto the pontoon. Carolina Horvat, just second from the left there. We've got a few Hungarians, quite a few Hungarians in the field. The crowd, of course, would love to see a local winner. Second from the right there is the Briton, Daisy Davis, who was 4th in her semi-final yesterday. History of triathlon here in Tiszy, as it's known, Tiszy, all the way back to 1997, when they had their first World Cup race here. And then in 1999, just a couple of years later, it became a real festival. Almost a week-long event of racing and concerts. It just brings the whole town together. Obviously, that's been scaled down a little bit this year because of the Korek over there of the Czech Republic just going through. But still a very decent crowd, as you can see, enjoying the gloriously sunny weather. They did actually race over a slightly different distance in the semi-final yesterday, these women. Very slightly different. The swimmer's the same. They had a 12k bike and a 3.2 kilometer run. So almost the same, but just changed slightly. And just a reminder, by the way, bringing you the men's junior event, and then this afternoon we've got the elite races for the women and the men, and Natalie Van Koeverden is among the competitors in that women's race, one of the top triathletes in the world. All that just waving to friends and family, no doubt. It's a really big day for the local women here on home turf. And there's a big tradition, actually, of women who are going on to success in the elite racing. We'll see in a few years if that tradition is going to be continued here. We're pretty much towards the end now of the athletes coming out for this event. 30 of them. And you'd think that that maybe would mean there wouldn't be too much congestion in the water with a smallish field, but the first buoy, so if you get yourself into an awkward position in kind of midfield or just a little bit behind that, then you just have to watch out a little bit. Just about the last event of note this before the Olympic Games in Tokyo. I'm sure we're all looking forward to the 3 triathlon events there. Concentration. Don't go too early. 10-second time penalty for any infringement. That looked okay. Obviously, we'll try and let you know if there are any time penalties, which will be 10 seconds apiece. And yesterday in the semi-finals, we had some really quick swims. And in these cases, I would expect something very, very similar this afternoon. Just a few of the names to look out for. I mentioned Karolina Horvat, who won her semi-final yesterday. So did the Slovak triathlete Margareta Vrablova. I can see already Daisy Davis of Great Britain is right up there, along with Kropko, the Hungarian, wearing number 4. So Anna Britton won one of the semis, Karolina Horvat won the second semi-final, and Vrablova of Slovakia won the third semi-final. Of course, not really necessarily about and expanding the minimal amount of effort in the process. Right, let's have a look and see if there's any issues here as they go round this first buoy. It's 110 metres in. Already there's just a little hint of separation between the first 3 or 4, and even over a distance as little as 1,500 metres. You don't want to get advantage. 15 seconds, 20 seconds can put you in a real problem when it comes to the bike. I mean, we're only 2 minutes into this race, not even that, as you can see on your screen, and already 4 or 5 of them have opened up a little gap over their pursuers. A really relaxed stroke. I can't quite pick out who that is up the front. But if you're a youngster looking to get into this wonderful sport, that's the kind of minimal leg kick, of course, saving the leg power for the bike and the run. Don't think we'll see anyone trying to go solo on this bike course today, but if they can get a little group away of maybe 4 or 5, they could do some serious damage and take out some of the competitors who that is always the fascination with this sport. Well, our leader is going a little bit further and further away from the field here. It's Laura Holansky, a 19-year-old Hungarian. One of their own up the front, that's for sure, but they are getting really strung out here. Only 3.5 minutes into the race, we haven't even finished the opening lap. And this is a real statement of intent from Holansky. I don't think she'll want to go on her own, as I mentioned, on the bike, but if she can drag those 2 or 3 women just behind her, looks like a group of 4 have got themselves a little break here. As we hit up, just a little bit of problem behind round that buoy. Doesn't take much and you can kind of get stood up, and it's a serious problem potentially. Seen in the past so many athletes coming to grief in the water. It's that old cliched saying, you can't win a race in the swim, but you can certainly lose it. We're going to get really good crowds at pretty much every vantage point. Great guns here up the front. Look at that lead. That's got to be, what, 10 or 15 meters, I'd say, at least. Really impressive from the 19-year-old. It's just that smooth, rhythmical stroke. It looks absolutely almost true of any sport, really. But it's the product of, even at her age, years of dedication and training, coaching. Incredibly impressive. We've got probably a 10 or 15 meter gap back to the next 3 in the water, and then there's a bit of a gap back to the rest, and they are seriously struts of the swim. No problems obviously around a buoy when you're up the front. Tiger line. Lansky showing her rivals a clean pair of heels at the moment. I think that's Daisy Davis back in 3rd, and it might be Jurankova of the Czech Republic in 2nd. We'll see when they come out the water. But these 3 now have gone clear, and then there's a little gap back and forth, and some of the others haven't even reached the buoy that Holansky just went down. So out she comes in just shy of 6 3/4 minutes. That is a fabulous swim. So Holansky it is. In fact, it was Christensen and then Kropko of Hungary in 3rd place. That looked like Vrablova just coming out, along with Avi Levy of Israel. Well, every 5-woman breakaway on the bike. Willie Doby nearly half a minute adrift. But Holansky absolutely superb in the water. That really was impressive. Now, no mistakes in transition. More haste, less speed is the key. Can't, of course, get on that bike until you're over that line. The time from Kropko, from Christensen, also in that leading group. Now, what's Holansky going to do here? I can't think she'll want to ride solo for the whole 12.5 kilometres of this bike. But we'll see. If she doesn't manage to pull it off, yeah, I think it might be a benefit to her to let the next 2 catch on, but we'll see. Just a little look back, wants to see where they are. What you don't want to do is to slow down too much and just lose all your momentum and all your rhythm. It's a pretty flat course, but as you can see as they go around that roundabout, there are a few little changes of direction, a few twists and turns, and it requires 100% concentration. And there's the group in behind. So they're going to have some horsepower to try and get close to Laura Holansky. But the Hungarian, wow, 6 3/4 minutes for that swim. And she really has strung out the field. Just looking a bit further down, Daisy Davis of Britain, 40 seconds off the pace. Nikova of the Czech Republic, similar. Same for Horvat, who's further back than she would have wanted to be. Well, they all are, to be honest, apart from the leader. So around the 180. I'm going to come to grief there. Just a reminder that we've got 5 laps of 2 spots. Now we've got Kropko has caught onto Holansky, and we're going to get a group of about 6 or 7 by the look of it. Christensen just on the back of that leading group. I think that was sensible. Bike away or not? Probably not. But she's put herself in a great position for a decent finish as some spectators use the zebra crossing. No problem, except when the bikes suddenly appear, but it's brilliantly organised here in Tiszy. They've been doing it long enough, and they got those people across. Thank you. Now it'll be fascinating to see when they come through to complete their first lap. Well, you can see there are some chasers looming now, so it might be, unless they can really put their heads down here, that we might get quite a larger group. That gap is maybe not as big as you'd expect it to be. So this is the end of the first lap. First lap of 5. And the likes of Priklova, Levy, Vrablova, Kropko, Holansky, who led out the water, and Christensen just about hanging on the back. So that's your leading 6, and Daisy Davis leads the chasers some 22 seconds adrift. So that's all for these women. They'll know, they'll have coaches and others out on the course just telling them how far ahead they are, and they certainly won't want that chasing group to get any closer. Because remember, the run is only 3.2 kilometres, so what's that, a couple of miles just about. Maintain, or maybe even extend this advantage, although to the naked eye, and the camera always foreshortens it a little bit, but to the naked eye, I think that chasing group might be gaining a little bit. We won't know for sure until they come round and complete that second lap. We've got one rider now in no man's land. I'm thinking that might well be Christensen, who was desperately trying to hang on, and she doesn't want to be there. That's the worst. best position to be leader and the chasers. And then you kind of don't quite know what to do. If you can't catch back on, I'd almost decide to wait and have the additional horsepower of that chasing group. But we'll see in due course as they complete the 180, and now they can see exactly where the chasers are, which will be a nice feeling. I thought initially they might have been gaining some ground. Now I'm not so sure. It was the advantage that they enjoyed when they crossed the line for the first lap on the bike. Known as a national sport town, Tiszy, love of sport that is infectious. If you've never been here, want some help up front, is the message from Kropko. So don't let me do it all on my own, ladies. None of them seem too keen to take up the do. Daisy Davis up there. Not compulsory, of course. You can sit on the back of the leading group, but if you want to stay clear of the chasers, you might want to do a little bit of work up front, taking turns to do it. You should mark a date in your calendar. Hopefully next year COVID will be behind us and normal service will be resumed. It is a fantastic week. About 180 kilometres from Budapest, a couple of hours down the motorway. Might be gaining a little bit, I think. We'll know soon enough. 16 minutes into the race as they come through to complete lap number 2 of 5. Milikova, Levi, Rablova, Holansky, Kropko, and the lead is down to 17 seconds. It might have been Christensen, yeah, I couldn't see Christensen anywhere. See if I can find her on my computer timings. She's definitely not in that. Yeah, she's now 24 seconds adrift. So as we thought, she dropped out of that lead group. She couldn't hold on at the front. Now they will know, this leading quintet, that the chase group are closing. And 5 seconds doesn't sound much, but 5 seconds over 5 laps, you can see the lead will be wiped out. Still want some help up front, and they are getting closer. But no question. And I think maybe because there wasn't a lot of turn taking in this lead group, no one really wanted to do the hard work, and that's maybe why, or one of the reasons why, the chase group is making inroads on that leading pack. Looks like 6 or 7 of them, including Davis of Great Britain, Mikova, Doby of Hungary is also in that chasing group. And these riders really, it's going to be tough for the remainder of the bike course for them. No chance really, you wouldn't think, of catching that chase group, and they can't wait for those behind them because they're too far back. Not that that will be bothering the leading 5, but how much longer they'll be leading 4 is another through the bike course now. This is lap number 3 of 5. 18-year-old Marta Kropko of Hungary. It's great to see such local talent. She wants help. She wants someone else to do some hard yards here, and there don't appear to be many takers, you've got to say. So Kriklenova, Levi, Vrablova, Holansky and Kropko are your 5 at the front. As you can see, there's not a lot of switching, is there? There's no turn taking. Almost like, to a degree, they're going through the motions. The 4 behind the leader, that is, in all likelihood, only going to play into the hands of those chasers. Davis of Great Britain. So, the end of lap 3. So, the end of lap 3, 2 to go. The gap was 17 seconds after a couple of laps. Let's see what it is now. Krylova, Levi, Holansky, Kropko and Vrablova have been at the front pretty much the whole time. So if they do that for the next couple of laps, these leaders will have around about a 10-second advantage going out on the run. Might just be a little more urgency here, and maybe this group of 5 will potentially split. Break off the front with 2 laps to go could be extremely effective, and it certainly might just set the chasing group back a little bit. Need to see if one of those, because well, it shows a bit of creativity and a bit of spark. Whether it'll be successful or not is another matter entirely. And remember, because they had those semi-finals yesterday, this is about the point where they might just start feeling it in the legs a little bit, and they know they've still got a near 3.5 kilometre run to follow. 3.6 kilometres, I beg your pardon, is the distance. They ran around the 180, they can see exactly where the chasers are. Bobby and Betty in that chasing group, along with Daisy Davis of Great Britain. Taking advisable care around the 180. Shoes await for the run in about what? Obviously they train very hard, they train 5 days a week, sometimes more, but training is one thing, competition is another. When you're in competition on 2 successive days, that can be a game changer sometimes. It's fantastic experience for them, obviously. Get through it. I mean, first is as good as ninth, effectively. To get through without using the minimal possible effort. Head down for Isle of Britain, the Canadian, winner of the first semi-final yesterday. That's history now, though. Can they make any kind of sizable inroads on this last lap and a half or so on these 5? Remember, the stage was set by Laura Holansky in the water, who swam brilliantly. some 10 seconds clear of a nearest rival. The other 4 caught on, and they've been riding as a 5 ever since. Well, they'll be coming round fairly shortly to complete this penultimate lap. I wonder if we'll see one of them, here we go, one of them decide maybe on the last lap to make a, or try to make a little break. So, 1 lap to go, the same 5 we knew that, they're just trimming it by a couple of seconds every lap, aren't they? So as I said, it might well be about a 10-second advantage for these 5. 10 seconds over 3.6 kilometres. It's a chasing group trying to get even closer than they have been. It remains to be seen how much of an advantage 10 seconds or so, assuming it is that, will be on the final to this one. We did see actually yesterday some really quick times. It is a pretty flat course. Not much wind either to bother them on the bike or the run. About 10 kilometres an hour north northeasterly. To be diminishing. Again, it can always slightly foreshortens it, but I reckon it's going to be 10 seconds or so. Something like that. So they go round the 180. Can't, in all honesty, say that this leading group have worked particularly well together. Allowing others to take over at the front, Kropko in particular. But at least they've stayed clear of the chasing group, and it looks now almost certain as though they are going to have a lead of some description to take into T2. With Levy of Israel. Seen a few Israelis in the top echelon of the Sport Brothers. Clearly becoming very popular in that part of the world as we hit the 27-minute mark of the race. There's Laura Holansky. Not afraid to do a bit of work at the front. She knows that there's only about a K to go on the bike now. She certainly set the tone for this race. Beautiful building. It's only been a town since the mid-1950s, by the way. Tiszy Varosh. Yeah, quickly across the road, please. Chasers trying to get as close as they can. But has enough damage. The other disadvantage they're going to have is going to be a bit more crowded in transition for them. Well, it shouldn't be too bad, to be honest, but the leading 5 shouldn't have any problems at all. And that's where they're going to be arriving very, very shortly. Here we go. Got to be off that bike before the dismount line, otherwise that's a 10-second time penalty. Something that they practice religiously. In with the bike. Helmet's got to go in the box. Quickly on with the shoes. And away. That was textbook. But you can see on that last lap, those chasers made up a lot of time. They really did, because there's a group of women going out together here, and they've pretty much got caught on that last lap. So now it's effectively a 3.6 kilometre foot race. 3 laps. And already really strung out. Radlova looks to be prominent. Really laying down a marker in the early stages. Half an hour, and just as we saw in the swim, this is where the field can get really strung out. So Radlova it is up front. Krylova is in second place, so those two have got a bit of a run on the field here. That's the Canadian, Oiler Britain, but she's some way back. Be interesting when they come through for this first lap. Radlova and Krylova running together now. Krylova on the shoulder of Radlova. Three stages on the run, but it's only 3.6 kilometres total. And Isle of Britain is the chaser. Kropko's fallen off a bit after being in that leading group of 5 on the bike. Yeah, it is a hot day. Really hot welcome, that is for sure. Britain is gaining a little bit. Isle of Britain making some strides towards this leading 2. Still Radlova in front. Can see Britain there in 3rd place. Radlova is still on the shoulder. There's only 3 laps on this run, and they're halfway through the second lap. Britain trying to close, trying to put some pressure on this leading 2. Kropko a little bit further back in the field. So second lap of 3. It looks like it'll be these two for the gold, Radlova and Krylova. Britain's 6 seconds behind, and looks like she's got a decent hold on bronze at the moment, because Kropko's a further 7 seconds back. Then Yerenkova of the Czech Republic, Daisy Davis of Great Britain. It will take a superhuman effort, you would think, for Britain to get to the leading 2. But she's going to just concentrate and make sure she gets bronze at worst. But we could be in for a really exciting sprint finish here between Radlova of Slovakia and Krylova of the Czech Republic. Prickwilover has been on the shoulder of the Slovak the whole way round. I don't think yet. I wonder if Prickwilover's going to leave it late, or whether Prickwilover might fancy her chances in a sprint finish between the two. Either way, it's going to be fun in the conclusion of this race. Yeah, Britain looks to be way clear. So she looks to be guaranteed the bronze, but up front, Prickwilover. There's never been Britain just consolidating in third place. Well, now then, I just wonder if she cut the course there. It looked to me as though Prickwilover may have gone a short way. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Either way, Prickwilover is back in front. Prickwilover she has to continue as if it's okay. 16 years of age, the leader. This could be the biggest day in her fledgling triathlon career. Isla Britain still travelling okay in third place, and she knows that it's not far to go now to confirm her bronze medal.
Előtt a depót, amikor kimennek futni egy híd előtt is.
There's our leader. Looking good for bronze. She's had those two kind of looming in the distance, but never really threatened to get close to either of them. Oh, have to be careful there, that's Stu. Well done. Got that bottle out the way. Don't want any mishaps this close to the finish line. So Prickwilover still with the advantage, and now Prickwilover. Has she got anything over these last few metres? Both look pretty comfortable, truth to tell. But she hasn't managed to shake off the Czech. Prickwilover and Prickwilover getting huge encouragement from the crowd here in Tiszy. Maybe a little bit closer. I don't think she's going to be close enough, but looks to be absolutely nailed on. There's the finish line, and Prickwilover almost challenging her rival to produce something. Prickwilover's been in front the whole time. Prickwilover, I don't think, can find much as they hit the blue carpet. The 16-year-old from Slovakia looks like she's going to take this. Prickwilover just can't respond, and Prickwilover up towards the line. Prickwilover can't get anything. Just the second lap, my mistake. 2 seconds back, 4 seconds back, but I still think we're going to have to see that, how the judges interpret that incident, where it looked to me as though Prickwilover went maybe inside the course, I don't know. Prickwilover has gone clear. And if she's timed this, if she's planned this, she's done it absolutely perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. The gap after that second lap, just checking on my timings here, it suddenly becomes 6 seconds. For virtually the entire first 2 laps, and now Britain has gone past Prikrilova. So Britain now appears to be the main challenger to Vrablova. Although she looks pretty smooth, pretty calm, pretty confident, and still full of running. Britain getting some encouragement. Some fairly loud encouragement. And on to this final lap. Well, you've got to give Britain huge compliments for hanging tough. She's got past Prikrilova. Can she get to the leader, the 16-year-old from Slovakia? It's a very compact running style which she has. And you can see the gap there, sizable, I think would be the word, to try and make up on one lap as the leader laps one of the back markers. If anything, she looks to be going further away from Britain, but we'll see. That gap is, what, 20 metres, maybe a little bit more. Taken water on board both of them in the last 2 laps because it is stiflingly hot. Yeah, I think if anything that gap is increasing. Looks like Britain has played to Prikrilova's chances of a silver. Right now. Slovakian is just going further and further away, lapping another of the stragglers. Well, this is a really solid performance. And you can see the blue carpet. What a fantastic feeling this will be for Margareta Vrablova, 16 years of age. A look behind, there's the smile. She takes the tape in 41.5 minutes. That is a fabulous performance, and you can see Britain with the clenched fist. Brilliant effort from her to get second. That's what it took out of her, not just today but yesterday as well. Prikrilova in third. He went with the leader for the first 2 laps. Stay strong and hang on for that bronze medal. 41.28, the winning time. First Hungarian home after Kropko. Yurkova in 5th place. That's a really dominant performance, isn't it, by the Slovak? It really is. A phenomenal run. See if I can get you the run time.
Ezzel ebben a pillanatban 7th, 7th place. Gyerünk, gyerünk! De micsoda verseny volt ez a szlovák lány, de csodálatosat ment.
When you consider this is kind of a super sprint, it's amazing the field is this strung out. But remember, these aren't just days.
A svájci versenyzőnő következik ebben a pillanatban a 9. helyen. Remekül Rebecca Betty! És Paplik lánya, Pap Laura Inez! Fölfut a 10. helyre! Laura! Óriási szép futás! Horváth Karola 12! Az izraeli, aki még vezetett is a 13. helyen a Biblevi. Domi, 14. Peszleg Dominika.
Finishing here. A whole army of stewards and helpers and volunteers there just to make sure they're all okay and get the water they need.
Nádas Romi érkezik meg a 18. helyre. 19-en a svájci Noémi van der Kaj, aztán még egyszer a 20-on Katerina Harravová, és egy újabb honfitársa, még egy cseh versenyzőnő, a 24. föld, Krisztina Zsaková. A lengyelek versenyzője a 22. helyen, a Tiszaújvárosi célban Józefina Mlinyarska, Polska, Lengyelország. De szép verseny volt, nagyon-nagyon-nagyon jó volt látni, és nagyon nagy öröm volt a magyaroknak szurkolni végig. Kovács Fruzsina Dóra, 23. helyen, Magyarország, a spanyolok versenyzőnője érkezik meg a 24.
Minutes or so after the winner across the line, Margarita Vrablova, of Spain.
Ugye a taps nem áll meg, mindenkit megünneplünk a célban, és csak utána megyünk át megnézni a filmukat. Gyerünk lányok!
We are going to try and have a word with Margarita Vrablova shortly. So we'll bring you that interview as soon as we can, towards the back of the field finishing. Here's our winner.
Taking gold in the Junior European Cup in Tiszújváros in 2021. Congratulations. There was a misunderstanding on the bike, I thought. How did that go with your leading pack there?
Well, I was trying to do my best, but you know, I'm only 16, so I don't have the strength. But I was trying to help as much as I could.
I thought you were doing an excellent job, and then you were holding back until the last lap, I thought. Was it planned for you?
Well, you mean on the bike or on the run?
On the run.
Well, no, I was going all out, but I'm a pacer, so I need to going faster and faster.
Well, you did an excellent job. I think your strength was just enough for the lead and the win. Congratulations to you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
I think she's a little bit overwhelmed, and understandable too, when you're 16 years old and you've just run like that and won a prestigious race like Tiszy. Absolutely no problem being a little bit overwhelmed, and I think just trying to lead up. Just a note, by the way, that the presentations for the women's race will take place after the final of the junior men, which is coming up in about 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. Just confirming the results then. Vrablova wins, silver medal for Isla Britain of Canada, and Dana Krikmalova of the Czech Republic will round out the podium with the bronze. We're going to take, or I'm going to take a very short break with men's junior race, as I say, very shortly as we just round out the top 20. And you can see there, Hadrovova of the Czech Republic, fully 2.5 minutes behind the winner. Welcome back. We're just preparing for the presentation, as you can see. And shortly that will be filled by men and 3 women. We'll never forget.
versenyhirdetésen részt vesz Tiszaiváros polgármestere.
Present at the medal ceremony, Vice Mayor of Tiszaiváros,
Molnár István és a Magyar Triatlon Szövetség elnöke,
also present, President of the Hungarian Triathlon Union,
Kindle Gábor. Harmadik helyezett, ezzel a kupa bronzérmese Csehország versenyzője.
in third place, and the winner of the bronze medal, representing the Czech Republic,
Dana Pritkriová.
Racing in second for so long, but just couldn't hold on to that. Come by the Canadian Isle of Britain that third lap, but still an performance from the Czech.
A második helyezett, és ezzel a Junior Európa Kupa ezüstérmese Kanada versenyzője.
in second place, and the winner of the silver medal, representing Canada,
Isla Britain.
Yeah, it was a really good run, wasn't it, from Britain? The way she managed to get past Pritlova to take the silver. Great day for her.
Aranyérmes, ezzel a 2021-es Tiszaújváros ETU Triathlon Junior Európa Kupa győztese, Szlovákia versenyzője.
gold medalist and the winner of the 2021 Tiszaiváros ETU Triathlon European Cup, representing Slovakia,
Margareta Vrablova.
16 years of age, what a performance. Day of her life for young Margareta Vrablova. Thoroughly merited gold medal. And she'll enjoy her national anthem.
A győztes tiszteletére hallgassuk meg Szlovákia himnuszát.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Slovakia.
Szeretettel gratulálunk a dobogon állóknak, és további sok sikert kívánunk!
Our heartfelt congratulations go out to all the winners. Thank you.
So as the women leave the stage, we're going to have the men up very shortly, the junior men. Just wonder what kind of a career Vrablova potentially has. She looks a phenomenal athlete, 16 years of age, racing against 17, 18, 19-year-olds. Marvellous performance. What a